Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Elevate. My name is Jessica.
My name is Darwin.
And before we start, I just want to give a little disclaimer. I'm looking
I'm fucked up.
I'm looking a little crazy today. I have not one drop of makeup on my face like I usually do. It's my personality to actually have makeup on. It's just part of me. But I'm giving my skin a little break because I put a product on my face and it gave me an allergic reaction around my eyes. So I'm just giving my skin a breather.
But we got a
But we're
compromiso. What's a compromiso?
I have a compromise with you guys.
It's a compromise? Nah, that sounds way off. Compromise?
No.
Commitment?
Yes. We have a commitment with you guys. And
Compromise.
so
I'm leaving that in.
No, you're not.
I'm for sure leaving that. So today we're talking about why is it that when a man has a lot of money, he wants to give it all and spend it all on his woman. Let me finish.
Okay.
But when a woman has a lot of money, she feels like she don't need no man. I'm gonna sit back, right?
That is a very good question. And that is very true.
I would love to hear you because just so I can prepare
I'm
when
not even
you got a lot of money.
No, I don't feel okay.
Choose your words wisely.
Growing up, it was, like I've spoken in previous podcasts, it was a thing where, it's like you're taught to get your money so that you don't need no man. Like, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm. As a woman.
Yeah, for many of us.
But why isn't it like, as a man?
Well, because women historically have been stepped over. Okay. And there was a period in time where women had no rights. So because of that, I feel like many women, when we gained that freedom, or somewhat of a freedom, and we started seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, a lot of our moms, they still were under that traditional umbrella in terms of, okay, we have more freedom now. For instance, like my mother's generation, they had more freedom. They could vote, but there still was a lot of traditional ways in which my mom's generation didn't actually feel free.
Okay.
And that's because, it's like you have to carry on the gender role of being a woman and you have to stay home and, all you have to love to do is be a mom and be a wife. And everything else is like irrelevant to you. And so many women from my mom's generation felt like this isn't freedom.
Yeah.
If a man gives me what I need financially or if he has the power financially in my home, most men would take that and use it as a weapon.
And also because I guess the men grew up as the provider, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, he was the provider, and so a lot of men, not all, I think things are changing, and I'm pretty sure back in my mom's time, there were also men that didn't use that as a weapon. It's just that that's what they were, the provider of the family. And for a lot of men, I feel like they feel good having this role. I know it doesn't apply all across the board and it's not one size fits all. But for the most part, most men like to feel like the provider and most women like to be the nurturer and like to be taken care of. But, if you grow up, it goes back to trauma, in my opinion. If you grow up with that need or like that urgency to feel like I need to get my own money so that no man can step over me. If you grew up in a household where you saw your dad, for instance, controlling your mom's every move, or your mom couldn't say, you know what, tomorrow night I'm going to go out with my girls.
Which I did.
But you did
I'm
what?
saying I did grow up like that, so continue.
Tomorrow night, like let's say the woman was like, tomorrow night, my friend, she's having a little get together in her house, and it's gonna be like a girls' night, and I want to go. And now you have, let's say, you live under the same roof with a man who's very machista.
Yeah.
How do you say that in English? Like a controlling man. Yeah. And he says no, like you can't go, and that man treats you like you're his property. Instead of we're a team and I love you and, I want what's best for you. I want you to be happy because they have the money. And so many women feel stuck when they're in a relationship with that type of man who uses money as a weapon. So that's why many women have, well, I'm kind of giving them the excuse to be this way, but I just know that is why many women have that perspective. That's why many women have that instinct today to, you know what, I'm going to go get my own money because I don't want no man treating me like I'm less than they are.
So do you think now in a household where the woman brings in a lot of money and the man brings in a lot of money, is there like a clash of like, oh, you can't really, some women feel like you can't, like the man is not the alpha, let's say, of the house because we're now equal because we make the same money.
And I honestly think that will go down to each person individually.
But do you think that's what's breeding that? Like women saying like, oh, I don't need no man. I'm going to make my own money.
If I make a lot of money, I don't need you. But where does love stay? That's how I feel about it. Like money is great. Money is amazing. Like you could go shopping. We can have a great old time with money. But after a while, if you don't have love or family, money gets old.
Yeah. Because money is infinite. Like,
I mean,
how much money is too much money?
And you can have all the money in the world. I mean, we've heard this over and over again. There's people out there who are filthy rich, but have no love and no happiness.
Yeah.
And what is life? In my opinion, what is life without love? Love and happiness go hand in hand. So yeah, for me, what is money without love and family and, you know, people to go to and enjoy that money with even.
And now that so many people, I feel like in social media are successful and are coming across money and most of them are being open about like, money is really not everything. And that they're saying like, hey, I know extremely wealthy people that are extremely unhappy.
Miserable. Mm-hmm. I just feel like we need to be very careful not to put money on such a high pedestal that we leave relationships out of the equation. You know, and that we don't take into consideration the importance and how lovely and beautiful, in my opinion, it is to have a valuable relationship. To have a relationship with someone who values us, who's there with us through thick and thin, who's there with us when we're feeling sick, when we're, not feeling our best. Yeah. To just have that support system is more than money could ever give you.
I mean, even if you look back at our like ancestors, it's like most of them didn't grow up with money. No. And you see those relationships last way longer than now. Now it's like everybody's divorced in 10 years, divorced in 5 years. And back then it's like, oh, we just made 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. And it was not because money was great.
No. And even now you could go to like the poorest neighborhood sometimes and you can see that they make the best of what they have. And they become just resourceful with what they have. Sometimes when we have too much abundance and we don't know how to be grateful or appreciate where those things come from, the gratefulness can be out the door and everything just becomes very meaningless when you don't know how lucky and how much of an advantage you have over many people in the world. So, I mean, going back to the point of why men, I think it's just been more acceptable on a society scale that the man is usually the one who is the provider. And like I said earlier, I feel like most men want to have that role. Some men have that role or want to have that role for the wrong reasons, because there are men who want to have that role simply because they want to be controlling. And I think that's just sad.
But it goes vice versa, because there's women that have a lot of money that find men that are not controlling, and they can kind of like say like, hey, I'm the bread maker.
That can also happen.
It's more rare, obviously.
Yeah, but that can also happen as well. It can happen where the woman is like, you know what? No, I'm gonna get all the money because I want to be the controlling one in the situation, and
You're a sugar mama,
right? And I mean, to each their own. I mean, if as a man you feel comfortable being in that situation and just being under a woman who's providing financially for you, and you're okay with her not treating you right,
And there's
Kudos to
also,
you.
but there's also women that will treat that man right. Like there's also stay at home dads that the woman just so happens to be, let's say, a very successful whatever it is, and make a lot of money, and the man just stays at home.
I mean, if there's communication in the relationship and it's agreed upon,
Mm-hmm.
because let's say for some reason maybe the woman took on a career that just
Generates
pays her
money.
well,
Yeah, exactly.
then there shouldn't be a problem with that as long as it's okay on both parts.
Mhm.
Because there's women who would not be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even matter if she chose a career that pays better than whatever career he chose. There's women who just will not want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't make equal money or more.
But do you think it's because they don't want to, or they don't want people to judge them, saying like, "Hey, you're
with a man who's like
who doesn't do nothing. You're
little sissy."
your man doesn't do nothing."
I mean, that would be a very personal question for each woman. I'm pretty sure there would.
How would you feel if you made, let's say $500,000 a year? At our current state, would I need to work?
I don't know. I've never really thought about
Well,
that.
think about it right now. We got time, girl. My memory card is empty. Right now, if you made $500K,
But see, this is the thing. I love you already. It's. What am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna just not love you because I make more money than you?
No, but you can say, "Nah, I don't think you should stay home."
Oh, you're saying like if I should demand that you work because I'm making more money than you.
So we could bring in more money as a family.
If you help me, staying at home is a very big job, in my opinion. So if you're helping me, like with the kids, you're picking them up from school, you're helping me in other ways, I don't think I would be like, no, you need to go to work because I make more money than you. Because at the end of the day, you're still helping me out.
Yeah.
And I view this the same way when it's a man that's going out to get the money, and when the woman is staying at home. I feel like that woman is doing a lot of work. Like, being a stay-at-home mom is a job.
Yeah, we got heat on one of those shorts that we uploaded. I don't know, we was talking about that, like staying at home was a job. That video got so much engagement with people, of mostly dudes, saying like, "Oh, anything that you could do in pajamas is not a hard job," or
Oh,
something.
yeah, I remember you showing me that. Yeah, that's what you called machista.
Yeah.
That's what you called, I've never done this in my life, and I don't know how much work it is. That's what you call being ungrateful. So, yeah, so for every man out there who stated that, or just assumes that because you're a stay-at-home mom, you stay in your pajamas, okay? I'm pretty sure there's some moms who do, and you know what? That's their business. If they're getting everything that they need to do done, what is not even your business if she's in pajamas.
Facts.
But everybody has an opinion about these things, and God bless those women that decide to get with men with that kind of mentality, because it would never be me. It could never be me.
It is not me.
No, it really isn't. I can't. But everybody has different standards and things that they accept, so it is what it is.
Trust me, you get what you get.
Yeah, I think that's why there's a difference in how, most of each gender perceives having money and what they would do with it, or what it means for them. For a man, it usually means having a lot of money usually means I can get any girl I want. Yeah. And for a woman, having a lot of money usually symbolizes I'm free. I'm free, and I don't have to be with a man. I can take care of myself. I'm an independent woman. But I very strongly.
But some men probably won't go for any. I guess it depends, like, on that man, because they can have a lot of money and it's not necessarily, I can get any girl that I want.
But they can. But that doesn't mean they will.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. High value men don't usually go for just any type of woman. But that's a whole different topic. But that's why it's just important to to know what do you want out of life and know what is it that, money is important. I'm never going to say it's not. It's very important.
That's a fact. Forget all those people that tell you money's not important.
Yeah, that's just BS. And that to me, when people say that, that just signifies what poor of a relationship they have with money. Mm-hmm. It just states how insecure they are with the capability that they have themselves to attain money.
Mm-hmm. You feel like it's not achievable.
Right.
Like, oh, no, I can't get money, so
no, I will
Money's
never.
Not everything.
I will never have that mentality. Money isn't everything, but it's top 5. It's top 3.
Top 2.
I say top 3.
I guess health. Love.
Number 1 for me is God. And, de la mano with God, hand in hand with God is health. After that is family and friends and, just a support system. And then is money. Because
depends what friend's gonna be there. If you extremely broke.
True. But why I say that is because sometimes you need a support system in order for you to achieve your goals. Like for example,
not really. You don't need.
I guess some people won't.
You don't need family or friends to support you to make money. You don't.
I guess you're right.
Because you make money from strangers usually.
You're right. I guess where I come from, the reason why I think that way and where I come from personally is because I personally feel like my mother helps us out a lot when it comes, especially because, we have kids. If we didn't have kids, my mother helped in the way she raised me and the belief system that she instilled in me.
Yeah, but that's growing up. That's the different. When I'm talking about like right now, you have no family. Can you go out and make money?
You're right. You can. That shouldn't be an excuse for you not to be able to make it.
And the thing
is, it's probably going to be rougher, though.
It is, but the thing is, if you put, I would say, family and friends before that, not saying I don't appreciate my family and friends, but if you put it before that, the chances are that if you are not doing anything for yourself, are a low life, lazy, don't want to go and get your own money, the chances are your family and friends are not going to support you and be trying to help you because you don't want to help yourself.
True.
Now, if you're making money, they say like, oh, you're trying to grow, you're doing this, you're doing that. Most likely your family is going to be supportive of you because they're proud of you.
And if we're completely honest, most family members, if they have a family member who's very lazy, they get tired of that.
Yeah, it's the nagging.
Nobody wants to be around, family or not, friend or not, like nobody wants to be around a person who's just constantly nagging about life and just dragging their feet through life and not putting no effort into becoming a better person.
I heard that like a lot of the entrepreneurs and business owners that I listen to, like on podcasts and stuff like that, that they went through a period in their life where they had people that would call them and stay on the phone just like nagging and complaining about life, and they just stopped picking up the phone. Yeah. Because like if I'm spending 30 minutes or an hour every single day with you or a few times a week, and all you're doing is talking about how something's not working and blaming the system and blaming this and blaming that.
They never have a solution.
Like, where are we getting here?
Yeah.
It's never going to end. You can complain for the rest of your life.
You're absolutely right. And the worst part about people like that is that they never have a solution for their problem. They just like to complain.
And then the chances are that you're going to stop talking to them and they're going to go to somebody else and complain about you.
Yeah.
Hey, this person thinks he's better than me because he's making money and now he don't pick up my phone calls. Why he's not picking up your phone calls? Because every time you called them, you was nagging about life and saying that you can't get ahead.
Absolutely. That's why every action has a consequence. Everything, every tiny habit you have compounds.
Every action has a reaction.
And everything compounds. Like there's things that you might not realize are hindering your progress, but it really is. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's very important to continue to educate yourself. Look and see who you look up to. What do they do? And just make one little change at a time. You don't have to completely become a different person, But there are certain things that we all know the things that most of the time, I'm a very, critical person with myself. I hold myself accountable very well, I believe.
Yeah.
So most of us know where we lack. Most of us know where we go wrong and what are the things that we need to improve on. And instead of you just saying, well, you know, this is just who I am, you know, and just being complacent with who you are or who you've made yourself to be, who you've titled yourself as, because that's just, it's a mentality, you guys. It's really a mentality. Like sometimes we give ourselves these names and we just don't realize how much of a problem that is because we're labeling ourselves. Mm-hmm. Where if you guys study a little bit and you guys realize, you know, all these people that are like studying the brain and neurotransmitters, like we can change every day a little bit. You know, our brain can change, our chemistry can change every day, little by little. So there's nothing in this world that you can't do something about.
That's a fact.
If it's something that you don't like about yourself, or, you know, something that that has became a habit for you and you know it's a bad habit. Like it won't be easy to let it go because habits, when you have habits, you form those habits through many months, many years. And to let go of those habits is very hard, but it's not impossible. You just have to have an open mind and just be ready to.
And also like challenge yourself. It's like that podcast we were just listening to with Trap and Neil.
Oh, yeah.
He was saying there's some things that, like, even if you don't know how to do it, that doesn't mean you can't do it. Like, there's always a way to do it, even if you don't know how to. You just got to figure it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And somebody else has done it before you, you know. And guess what? Most likely, they didn't know how to do it either.
That's a podcast a topic we're gonna talk about soon.
Yes.
The not hidden secrets, but the things people don't talk about, when building a business and the little details. We've
gotten around a lot of people that has given us a new perspective on business owners and, you know.
And us building this that you're seeing. You guys might not see the big picture. But yeah, we'll slowly show it to you. So make sure you subscribe.
All right, so we always finish talking about like personal development and entrepreneurship.
That's our life.
But yeah, so in conclusion, I think that it's just there's trauma that's involved. It's just norms that society has put in place, and that's why most men, when they have money, it's a power thing for them, but it also is for women when they get it, because most women in the past were not used to making money themselves. So now, you know, we get money and we're like, hell no, I'm not sharing this with nobody.
I don't need no man.
I don't need no man. And it is kind of it is a little unfair, but at the same time I feel like life isn't fair. It is a little unfair to think that us as women, if we get money, we automatically think like, this is all mine. I'm not sharing it with no man. But if a man gets money, we expect that man to share that money with his woman. It is a little double standard. But that's the society we live in. I don't know what to tell you. It just, for each person, you know, to each its own. And I always say, you know, it's not one size fits all. Every relationship is different. And you know what? You need to make decisions. You need to think for yourself. What is it that makes you happy? Be sure that the choices you make in life aren't something that you end up regretting.
Yeah.
You know, don't put money on a pedestal where, you know, all of a sudden now you feel like I have money, I don't need a man. It's very sad, in my opinion, to die lonely. I'm pretty sure there's women who have done this before. It's not like you can't go through life, you know, without a partner. But also there's people who are very like miserable to the point where they don't even have close friends. And I feel like that's necessary for the human being to have connection, even if you don't have people who you're hanging out with every day, but just to have connection with people.
Somebody could just call and...
There's nothing money can buy that will give you the satisfaction of having a good friend to call up when you're feeling sad. or having a partner who's there for you, who supports you in everything that you do. There's no amount of money that will give you that kind of satisfaction. There's no amount of money that will give the satisfaction that, in my opinion, God can give you as well. So just be very mindful of that, and not, just say, well, because I have money, I don't need anything or anybody anymore. I have everything I need, period. Because that's a very dangerous side to be on, in my opinion. But yeah.
Mic drop.
That's it for today's episode, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're here on YouTube, don't forget to leave us your comments down below. Why do you feel that women talk about this in this manner? Why is it that women feel like, all of a sudden, they don't feel a man, they don't need a man if they have a lot of money? And why is it that men have that responsibility of giving their money to their woman? Leave us your comments down below. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you're here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, don't forget to leave us your reviews. It's very much appreciated, and it helps our channel very, very much. That's it for today's episode, you guys. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Until next time.
Peace. Should we get some frozen yogurt?
Yes.
Zena didn't hear me. Should we get some frozen yogurt? Yeah. You guys were good.